Welcome back, everyone. Now, normally I would have tried to do like something like thematic and like, you know, welcome you in Korean, but I'm bilingual and Korean is not the other language. Technically, I'm trilingual, but Korean is not one of those three languages. So I'm just gonna say welcome to another episode of the Channel Chasers podcast. This time we will be going back to an old favorite, a staple of the show. In fact, you know, this goes all the way back to we actually covered the original movie trilogy when it was just me and Brian back in the day. This is, of course, our follow-up to Exo Kitty Season 3. So we are here for Kitty's final year at KISS, at least the first semester of her final year at KISS, and here to talk about all the mess that ensues. Joining me as always are my two friends, Brian and Tony. How you doing tonight, fellas?
Things are a bit hectic and crazy in my personal life, but other than that, we're doing okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm all right. A little tired from work, but I'm here.
Okay. Cool. Wait, today's Saturday, Brian. What? Oh. Well,
yeah.
You just mean like the work week overall. That confused me for a second. I was like, huh, you worked on Saturday? Anyways,
No.
Moving on. We're going to start the episode as we usually do by first jumping right into the news with Brian. Take it away, Brian.
All right, so this one is interesting because it's going to be about a topic that Jay knows more, but a lot of things were happening, so I felt like we had to cover it. So I believe it was last week or the week before that Jay had talked about
The Immortal Man. Yeah, it was last week where I mentioned that I watched The Immortal Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Peaky Blinders movie. Mm-hmm. Well, more information is starting to trickle out about a sequel series. And it is still untitled yet, but we know quite a few things about it. Like, we know the plot synopsis and we know some of the cast. The plot synopsis is a decade after World War II, the race to rebuild Birmingham becomes a brutal contest of mythical dimensions.
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
I watched too much of the show. I've heard too many of these British motherfuckers say it. Birmingham.
Becomes a brutal contest of mythical dimensions. This is a city of unprecedented opportunity and jeopardy, with Duke Shelby at its blood-soaked heart. And we know some of the cast for it. 6 names so far. 2 are unknowns. 1 is a relative unknown, who is probably best known, or at least best known here on the podcast, for voicing Lenore on Castlevania.
Oh, cool.
But the 3 big names so far attached are Lashana Lynch, which people might remember her from Captain Marvel.
Yep, she is Maria Rambeau, right?
Yeah, she was also Rita Marley in the Bob Marley.
The recent biopic was it, or there was a show?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the biopic.
I meant movie.
Okay.
The recent biopic, and she was also the female lead in No Time to Die.
Oh, cool.
And we never saw it, but she was Miss Honey in the Matilda musical that just recently came out.
Oh, nice.
And also, I believe a while back we reacted to a trailer of a show that came out in 2024 with her and Eddie Redmayne, The Day of the Jackal.
Oh yeah, that I remember that. It looked really cool. We just never checked it out.
Yeah, and apparently they are working on a season 2.
Oh, cool.
But it's got her. It's got surprise Charlie Heaton, which, if that name doesn't sound familiar to you,
does not.
He was in Stranger Things, Jonathan.
Oh, nice.
He was also Sam Guthrie in New Mutants movie.
He does look like Cannonball. He does have that appropriate look.
Yeah, and most recently he made a guest spot in the show Industry. But the big thing about this is so weird thing within the Peaky Blinders universe, which Jay can probably contest to, is Duke Shelby, like the people playing him.
Okay.
Because apparently he appeared in the last season.
Yeah, as a kid.
Yeah, he was a kid in that one. And then in Immortal Man, he's played by Barry Coogan.
Yeah.
Well, now a third actor is going to be playing him.
Okay.
Jamie Bell.
Name doesn't sound familiar.
He was the best friend in Jumper. He was Ben Grimm in the Fan Four Stick.
Oh, not his fault.
The one that surprised me the most is in the Tintin movie he played Tintin.
Oh, cool. I would have thought they would have. I would have thought they'd just go with the actor from the movie. That's interesting. He didn't even look that young. Like, he didn't look super young. I mean, he was like definitely like young adult, but I guess it is a decade later, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and also the thing that people would now invest as is Billy Elliot. He was Billy.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so that's the currently untitled Peaky Blinders sequel series.
It's gonna be really interesting because, like, you know, as someone who enjoys world history, post World War II reconstruction of Europe in general is fascinating, especially in London and France, the areas that were like severely bombed during the war. So like the rampant crime element is going to be very cool because, like, you know, obviously they already said it in the description, like a lot of the gangs in London took advantage of the, you know, of city in the process of rebuilding.
Yeah.
Also, it's very similar to, like, you know, what Wilson Fisk is doing in Daredevil right now.
Yeah. Also, if I'm not mistaken, this is the most like close to modern time a Stephen Knight show has been.
This is the most modern, because Peaky Blinders itself was like in like the early 1900s. Like eventually it got to like the 30s, and then Immortal Man jumped to like closer to the 40s, and then obviously this will be a decade after.
Which we here at the Channel Chase podcast have covered a couple Stephen Knight stuff.
So far we've done 1,000 Blows, right? That was about that was it so far. The first 2 seasons. Oh, the only 2 seasons. Cause I don't think they're gonna do more of that after.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he makes good shit. I'm a big Peaky Blinders fan. I'm gonna check it out for sure.
We never watched it, but we did watch the trailer for the House of Guinness.
Oh yeah, that did look cool. I meant to check it out. I never did, but yeah, it did look cool. That trailer did look cool. But yeah, all right. I am definitely excited. I trust Stephen Knight.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's the news. I know it's an interesting one, but I thought, hey, it's a big franchise, and we have a person on the pod who has a connection to it, and very recently talked about it.
So yeah, with the news out of the way, we will now jump into Screen Time. Screen Time is a segment of the podcast where the guys and I all talk about the various rabbit holes we found ourselves in between recording podcast episodes. That can be anything from movies we don't have time to cover, TV shows we don't have time to cover, comics, video games, YouTube videos that really interested us, anything in between. I'll go ahead and start, and I think I'll probably end up being 2 of my 3 will be the same as Tony's. Because the two things I want to talk about are 2 different videos from Sir Superhero. One of them being a collab, but we'll talk about the pure Sir Superhero video first. Sir Superhero for April Fool's Day as a holiday special seriously reviewed all of the first volumes of the first 6 Absolute series.
Yes, and since, for context, Sir Superhero is a designated Marvel lore nerd. Mm-hmm. He knows everything about Marvel like the back of his hand.
And he's aware of DC. He's seen the cartoons, seen the movies, but like he's never deep dove into the comics. He might have read a few here and there, but he'd never really deep dove into the world in the same way he did as Marvel.
Yeah. So the best way that he saw about doing that is with the Absolute Universe, and he went into a little bit of detail.
And so he could get like pretty much like a complete new reader experience. Because like he knows basically nothing aside from the pop culture basics of DC.
Yeah, and he did not really go into because he didn't read Absolute Power
or the All-In Special, which is the precursor that actually sets up all the lore. Mm-hmm.
But hearing his opinions on all 6 first wave titles is actually very fascinating.
Yeah, which I called it. Before the video even started, I was like, Absolute Wonder Woman is going to be his favorite because it's my favorite. And me and him, we're like locked in terms of taste, because he loves magic superheroes just as much as I love magic superheroes. He's gonna love Absolute Wonder Woman, and as soon as he started, he's like, Absolute Wonder Woman kicks ass. This is my favorite. I'm not even gonna try and hide it. Spoiler it for the rankings. This one's my favorite.
Which is fair.
And
then he goes into a lot of his criticisms, like Absolute Flash is his least favorite, is because
I agree with. So like, yeah. And but in defense of Absolute Flash, again, I totally understand it from a new reader's perspective. But in defense of Absolute Flash, which he brings up that his friends have told him about it gets a lot better. And as he said, it has a strong start, but it kind of does nothing in the middle. And like it's more direction focused. It's more direction forward in its current stage. And if you've read Jeff Lemire titles before, you're used to this kind of pacing.
Yeah.
So like, you know, if you've never read anything by Lemire, it definitely might throw you off. But I would still recommend Absolute Flash. What he said about Absolute Green Lantern is very interesting, because I also had these same kind of feelings. And if you guys are curious, because I know I haven't done Comic Chaser in a while, Absolute Green Lantern, how I would personally rank, if you want my personal rankings, Absolute Wonder Woman is my favorite, followed closely by Absolute Green Lantern. Then I would go, no, I would probably go Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Batman, Absolute Green Lantern, then I would go Absolute Flash, and at the bottom for me is Absolute Martian Manhunter.
What about Soups?
Oh, Soups would probably be in the middle. I think he'd be after Green Lantern but before Flash,
which is fair.
Because like Superman, I like Superman a lot more than most people did, and maybe this is because I was always, to be a contrarian to my pops, I was never really a Superman guy, and so like the departures from Superman actually interested me more. And granted, he's coming more in line to like traditional Clark now, which I don't mind, but I liked the differences. And the differences also didn't just mean he was edgier, right? He was still the same Clark, personality-wise, morals-wise, all the important intangibles, but like there was definitely some major differences. In fact, what I would say actually is that Kal-El, because he's actually not Clark in this, he's just Kal-El, because he takes the name Clark Kent as an alias now because, like, long story short, the Kents give him their property in their will, so he just takes the name Clark Kent. But Kal-El in the Absolute Universe, I would say, is actually more similar to main universe Supergirl, because he
Definitely agree with that.
is an older survivor of Krypton, which I'm still holding out that Kara is out there somewhere. And I think the interesting thing, I think Kara might actually be the younger one this time.
I would be very curious about that, actually.
Yeah, they're doing some interesting stuff with the Superman lore.
Yeah,
like
the fact that Raish is his main villain is insane.
But
Yep,
also, you know who else has a beef with Raish apparently?
Everybody.
The Absolute Steel.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
that news story came out, and
that came out this week. I haven't read this week's issue yet.
But we did find out something about that Steel, though.
Okay.
They are the one that designed and created the Peacemaker tech.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
But yeah. But back to the superhero video. It was interesting hearing his thought. He liked Martian Manhunter a lot more than I did. My issue with Martian Manhunter personally is I understand that the Absolute Universe is supposed to be darker and like more like it's more difficult for like the light to shine through. But like for me, Martian Manhunter was especially cynical to the point where I was like, this is too real. I'm good. I acknowledge this is very well put together. This is very well drawn and well written, but like I'm not in the right headspace for this shit. I might be able to read this later, but it's too depressing.
Which is a fair thing to say. You're not in the right headspace to read certain comics.
I'm never gonna say it's bad, because I acknowledge that it's well written. I was just like, oh god, this is really dark, because a lot of the interpersonal kind of drama between John and his wife is just, man, this is some real shit. I'm like, I'm cool.
Well,
on top
here's
of
the thing.
Yep.
See, the thing is also I have like listened to some of the stuff that is going on, and it gets even darker.
Oh yeah, I know. I collect it for the sake of collecting and supporting, but I haven't read it, but I've watched videos of people explaining.
Like the shit going on with his son.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
It's like Invincible levels.
I wouldn't necessarily go that far, because Invincible pushes it like way past the line. line. It's more reasonable than Invincible, but it's definitely pushing the line for a big 2 book.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, and I did not know this about Star Superhero, he is not a Batman fan.
Yeah, he does not like Bruce.
And like, you know, as the Bat Boy, you know, of this trio here, I was shocked. But he does like Absolute Batman, which I personally love Absolute Bat. Like I like both main timeline Bruce and Absolute Bruce. But I think the thing that I love the most about Absolute Bruce is that Absolute Bruce proves that, like, kind of shows why Batman is so cool, as opposed to like the meme of why Batman is so cool. Like, people over exaggerate Bat God, and Bat God is a thing, right? You know, he could prep for anything because he's super rich or whatever. But the thing that makes Batman so cool is Batman's ingenuity, his resourcefulness. He shows kind of the pinnacle of what DC represents. Like, he is a man amongst God, and he can still stand shoulder to shoulder with them.
Yeah.
And that's what I like love and respect about Batman. And I think Absolute really kind of drives that home because he really has to get it out the mud.
And I think that's the whole shtick, because Superhero's favorite superhero of all time is Moon Knight.
Yep. Who is hey, actually, and I'm sure that's probably why he has so much kind of negative connotation to Batman, because people wrongfully say that Moon Knight is Marvel's Batman, when really Daredevil is Marvel's Batman.
I think it's so much that I think he explained it like this. He's not the biggest fan of somebody who says they're a self-made man as a superhero.
When he just I mean, okay, so this is I'm about to put my fucking Bat Defender cape on. Like, yes, he paid for it, but he also spent like over a decade of his life hard trading. It didn't.
He acknowledged that part too.
Yeah.
Just the wealth, like that's a like instant.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the thing that.
That's one of Batman's greatest superpowers.
And I get that part. And I also get his overuse point as well. Because Batman is overused. He is the Spider-Man of the Marvel universe. You always got to throw Batman in everything.
How many times have we talked about how the whole concept of Elseworlds is fascinating? But like 90% of it is Batman related.
Just like the concept of What If is fascinating, but 90% of them are Spider.
Yeah, I mean, only like great stories that are like very entertaining are like whole universe ones, or just a singular character.
Yep. Which I want to add this kind of as an additional thing to our screen time, but we'll add this towards the end. But so yeah, that's pretty much our superheroes video. Go watch it. It's really cool. I loved hearing his opinion. I love hearing like what a new reader thinks of DC stuff. Especially Absolute, because Absolute kicks a lot of ass. And you know, as someone who fucking, you know, loves Greek mythology, that was obviously my favorite, and it continues to be my favorite. And someone who loves Batman is right there behind. Also, the thing that I love about Absolute Batman that I think it'll definitely like raise the I'd bet good money that once he reads more of it, he will like Absolute Batman a little bit more than he initially did. Because the thing that I love about Absolute Batman is that Scott Snyder gets to get into his horror bag for real in Absolute Batman. Because if you've seen Absolute Mr. Freeze, Nightmare Fuel. Absolute Bane, Nightmare Fuel. I just read the Absolute Poison Ivy issue. Yeah, oh my god.
That's terrifying. That bitch terrifying.
Snyder really gets to get back into his horror bag, which I think is his strongest suit. Scott Snyder is one of the best modern horror comics writers like of the 21st century. I'm gonna put that out there.
And I'm really interested to see like what he does when Absolute Two-Face and Penguin get to take the stage.
Yeah, I am very curious.
Which he's already said that Two-Face is going to act more like a vigilante.
Yep. And then so I definitely think that'll raise in the standings for him. But the other video that I watched was a superhero collaboration with, you know, I wouldn't say friend of the show, but like, you know, we are fans of this channel as well, Comic Drake. They did for their April Fool's special a video on Bible Man.
Yes.
The Christian superhero, aka the Christian Crusader. They didn't think that one through.
Yeah. And they never think that through.
It was so funny, really well done. I actually So I'm Catholic. Well, you know, Catholic is a denomination of Christianity, but I'm like familiar with Bible Man in passing because I've seen like some of the media, like, you know, given out at churches and stuff. But I didn't grow up with it or anything. But I as soon as I saw that costume, I was like, I know who that is. Holy shit, this was a real thing and not just a fever dream I had in Sunday school. And Bible Man is actually really interesting. He's Christian Batman that wields a holy lightsaber.
Yes.
And all of his bad guys wield demonic lightsabers. And there's actually kind of interesting lore that Star Superhero does his thing and like dissects the lore, and it's really fucking fun.
And then you have Drake coming in with also a bit of the production angle. Because sweet Lord Moses, these individuals.
And just all the different changes the suit went through within the first 5 episodes is insane.
It is just absolute madness. Pure absolute madness.
They even
And
had
then,
like a live tour component too, and that caused the poor gentleman that was the original Bible Man to get like a severe back injury.
And this is a character that has legacy characters and sidekicks. And
Yep.
shit.
Yeah. And a whole animated series.
That is apparently, according to Drake and Sir Superhero, better than the live action show.
Yep. Well, because they have a lot more freedom to actually like do the stuff. They don't have as much constraints, you know, because it's not real people.
Oh, yeah, but still, I
Yeah,
find it
yeah,
hilarious.
it is funny. It is funny. But yeah, so those are two of my 3, and those were very positive. Now let me go to my third one, which is my negative. So I've talked about it kind of here and there and everywhere, but like in small pieces. I watched Paradise, right? And I liked season 1 a lot. Paradise season 1 is really good. I was feeling season 2. I was like, all right, season 2 is okay. It started to get a little shaky in the middle. We get to the end, and I'm like, all right, okay. We've officially entered lost territory. We're fucked now. The shark has been jumped. Spoilers for Paradise, but like not like super duper major. It's a major spoiler, but like it doesn't ruin like exact plot points. Time travel has been introduced in this season finale, and I'm like, all right, I'm out. Nope.
Well, if you remember back in the day when it first came out, we actually reacted to the trailer for the first season.
Oh yeah, I remember. That's why I ended up watching this first season on the low, and I was like, okay, this is all right.
The whole entire premise based on the trailer of the show is just about a dude who gets friggin' for killing the president.
So that's actually not the plot. So I can tell you what happened. I can tell you the plot. I can explain Paradise. So it is
Because I will say that I was very confused when of course I couldn't escape it. Promos for season 2 when it first came out, and they were like, he's out of the bunker, and I'm like, the fuck?
Okay, so let me explain. So let me just take a second to explain Paradise to you people. If you are interested in watching Paradise, just skip over this section. I guess Tony can put a fucking tab for this in the future. But the premise of Paradise, the trailer is completely misleading. Paradise is about a post-apocalyptic world where everybody lives in this, where rich people who can afford it live in this bunker city, right? And they run their own little society. Homie gets
That was not in the trailer.
Homie gets yeah, I know it wasn't. That's why I said the trailer was misleading. Homie gets framed for killing the leader of within this little bunker society, their de facto president. Turned out it's not him, but the actual plot of Paradise is that during the post-apocalyptic event, he gets to the bunker and his wife ends up somewhere else. He later finds out she's in Atlanta, and so the entire journey is him going to find his wife in this post-apocalyptic world.
Fuck?
Season 1 is all him escaping the bunker and the bunker politics. It's really fucking interesting. It's a really cool political thriller. Super dope. I really enjoyed season 1. Season 2 is where it gets fucking weird, because then he escapes the bunker and it's like, all right, my wife is in Atlanta. I gotta go from post-apocalyptic DC to post-apocalyptic Atlanta. Let's go. Gets on a horse, starts to travel. He ends up finding one of the places where his wife was at. He finds a dude that his wife was working with. The dude implies that he was fucking the wife, but turned out he wasn't fucking the wife. He ended up finding this random lady.
Season 1 of Walking Dead?
It feels very much Walking Dead coded in season 2, and it's just as fucking boring as like the later seasons of Walking Dead. And like it in the first season, it's like this sci-fi political thriller that is, it's a little out there, but mostly grounded for the most part. And I'm like, okay, cool. There are a couple sci-fi elements here and there. They got some cool hydroponic gardens because they're growing stuff underground. That they managed to figure out how to clone animals so they can have livestock and shit. Okay, cool, basic sci-fi stuff. And then at the end of season 2, they introduced time travel, and I'm like, all right, fuck this. Nope, you lost me. I already don't like time travel unless it involves Doctor Who. Yeah, I'm done now. Fuck this show. It's stupid. I'm out of here. Now, they did confirm early on that Paradise was only going to be a 3-season show, so next season is going to be the last season. But it's too late, buddy. I'm not watching. You introduce time travel, everything else just goes out the window. I don't care. Because now you're basically opening the door so you could basically do anything. And like, I already saw that happen with Lost. I'm not watching it with this.
Yeah, because I think what it is, Jay, is that you don't have a problem with time travel TV shows. You have a problem when time travel is shoehorned
into a random
show.
premise. Yes, that's exactly the problem, Brian. You hit the nail right on the head. If the premise had already opened the door with time travel. Now, granted, again, this is, as I explained, it's a very sci-fi premise to start. Advanced bunker city, post-apocalyptic event. Cool. We got some, interesting, like, futuristic technology. All right, I buy it. But then we get to time travel, and I'm like, all right, you didn't even try. People are huffing copium saying that they hinted at this, but I don't care. I didn't see it. It feels dumb. It feels forced. I don't like it. I'm sorry, but fuck Paradise. This show is ass.
Damn. Sterling K. Brown. What?
It's not Sterling's fault either, because Sterling is killing it performance-wise.
I know it's not, but the man, ever since This Is Us, has had a very interesting filmography.
Oh yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. And for those of you who are like longtime fans of the show or of me, I hope you enjoyed that old school fucking Jay rant, because my god, that fucking pissed me off.
That was on the level of the God damn it, Barry.
And goddamn it, Barry, where did that come from? Time travel.
Yep.
But at least that was set up because we already knew the Flash could travel in time. But yeah, fuck Paradise, dog. It was a good show until it wasn't. I'm not coming back, even if it's the last season, unless everybody I know who watches the show tells me that the season 3 is good. I'm not coming back. You lost me for good. So that's my third one. I'm done now. Brian, what about you?
Okay, so anime update.
Mm-hmm.
I finished Skate the Infinity.
All right.
Including the slice of life extra episode.
Cool.
And I know everyone keeps talking about how this is quote unquote the gay skating show, but the lead two are the most platonic of the pairings of the show.
Yeah.
Like Adam and his assistant / longtime friend. Yeah, and then you got Joe and Cherry, which just fuck already. Those two.
See, I think the lead two are only so platonic because, Japan TV.
Compared to the others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, I totally get that. Because, in the finale where he's, screaming for Lagna.
Yep.
But yeah, and I do like the whole, Lagna doesn't really know Japanese well. And those are really funny.
It's even funnier when you're watching it in English and they're talking about Japanese.
Yeah.
Which is still funny as fuck.
And then the point where you find out that Reki got the magazine wrong.
Yep.
Because he doesn't know English that well. Which is funny when you watch it in the dub.
Yep.
But animation is still great. That final race, it got very shonen-y.
It's Skate the Infinity is like if you combined wacky races with 90s comics.
Yeah.
Because you get the extreme sportsness of the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So so what else you got, Brian?
I then jumped on to my next anime, which was one that I started a while back, but then for some reason dropped it. I don't know why.
Okay.
But I've picked it back up, and that is Wisteria.
Oh, I've heard of this one. That's the one with the sword. It's the big. It's the sword one, isn't it? The main character is like a swordsman. I know that's very
it's,
generic because a lot of main characters in anime are swordsmen, but you know what I mean.
It's called Wistoria. Okay. It's called Wistoria Wand and Sword. Mm-hmm. Because what it is about is it's about this dude and his childhood friend. And she was like a magic prodigy. Mm-hmm. And he has no magic skills. Well, she goes off to like this like pillar to watch over the thing and like basically graduate early and like be like a protector watcher of the city.
Okay.
And being her friend, he wants to join her, so he's doing his best at the magic school to try to reach her while not knowing any magic at all.
Yeah, this follows like it's basically Tony will understand this reference. It's basically it's a Mashle clone, but instead of just pure muscles and meathead energy, the guy uses swords. So kind of Black Clover-ish, but like not as interesting as Black Clover, if I'm being honest.
Well, I really like it, and
the animation is beautiful. I've seen the first episode. I didn't watch anything past the first episode. But
it gets more complicated than that. There is a big whole like tournament arc thing, which gets really good in the animation, and that is he kicks all kinds of ass, because one of the things is in this world, it's a magic school, but part of the way that you can like gain points, which you need points to like graduate, is to go to a local dungeon that they have with monsters. And if you go and you say, hey, I defeated this monster, and you bring back like a trophy of you defeating it, you get a certain amount of points. Well, he's like, hey, that's where I can shine. But also to his credit, he also academically is doing really well, and he knows a lot. Mm-hmm. So he knows a lot about magic, just he can't cast it. Mm-hmm. And there are some people that he really pisses off. Like there's definitely one that's more of a like the Vegeta-esque rival character.
Yeah. You always have to have those with shonen. There's always one.
And he's a pyromancer, basically.
I mean, that's part of the trope. Most Lancer characters are fire based. Now that I think about it, a lot of people that fit the Lancer trope in like literature and especially in animation are fire based or ice based. Yeah. It's either one of the two because usually it's either the main character is fire coded and the Lancer is ice coded, or like the main character is neutral and the Lancer character is fire coded.
Well, here's the interesting thing: is the rival is fire coded, but the like actual antagonist is ice coded.
Interesting.
Does ice magic. And then you've got Earth Magic Chick, who clearly has a crush on the main character, but he is completely oblivious. And then you have his roommate, which, as far as I know, is gender not confirmed. I don't know what gender they are.
Okay.
But they're also very supportive. And of course, in typical magic school, the teachers don't really like him. There's one that really doesn't like him, but yet there is one that likes him and supports him, obviously. It's very, I don't know how to say this. It's very heavily Hogwarts inspired.
I would say what you're describing to me is Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It is very Harry Potter.
Well, so a lot of Mashle started that trend, and Mashle is 100% a Harry Potter parody,
which is just comedy genius.
And I don't know if you've ever heard of Mashle. It's Muscles with Magic. Yeah, it's a One Punch Man style comedy where the main character, is in the magical world, goes to magic school, but can't use magic, so he just punches things. He just works out and punches things. It's hilarious.
The weird thing is both Mashle and Wistoria started about the same time, which means neither were copying each other.
We don't know when the anime might have started at the same time, but I think Mashle's manga.
What I'm saying is Mashle started in a Shonen Jump in 2020, and Wistoria started serialization in a Shonen magazine in December 2020.
Oh, so it might not be copying each other, but probably just overlapping ideas at the same time. Kind kind of like it's like a DreamWorks Disney situation. That happens a lot in the manga industry. Like ninjas are like, ninjas are popular because of Naruto. Everybody's got to get a ninja manga. Everybody's got to get a ninja manga out there.
Magic is super popular, or Magic School. Bunch of that nonsense out there.
Which I'm glad to see, because I want to itch that like magical school itch without supporting She Who Shall Not Be Named.
Watch Little Witch Academia. It's amazing.
Yeah, but I'm really liking Westoria too, because it's one of those shows where it's got an interesting world that they like slowly feed to you. Like elves are a like incorporated thing into the world.
Yeah, I think but, again, I only watched the one episode, but I got enough out of it where I realized it wasn't for me, because I felt like I got more of what I wanted from this out of something like Black Clover, which I will champion to this day, because like Black Clover gets a lot more hate because it starts off very generic, try and like gaslight people into thinking that it's your basic shonen, and then once it gets its hooks into you, it does its real shit and it gets interesting. The only thing that I complain about Black Clover is that its main character should not be the real main character. Not that I hate Asta, I just think he's the least interesting character of the entire cast.
Now, I have a question about Black Clover.
Okay.
Is because part of the reason why I got into Astoria again is because I was looking to see like what are the anime that are coming this year.
Okay.
Like, and season 2 of it is coming out this year, so I was like, okay, I'll finally finish that. Well, when I look at Black Clover, all the news articles say season 2, but then when I go to Netflix, it's 5 seasons.
It's because Netflix is weird. So Black Clover is the last of its is the last anime of an era. So you weren't an active anime fan for real at this time. But like if you're like a old head weeb like Tony and myself, you know that shonen anime, like your Narutos, your One Pieces, your Bleaches, those had hundreds of episodes. And as infamously shown with One Piece, those 1,000 episodes are season 1. Black Clover is about 200 something, 190 maybe something episodes, and all of that was considered season 1 originally when put on like Funimation and stuff, and then Netflix just decided to break it up into arcs, the actual arcs they are, and the arcs are all the different seasons.
So what you're saying to me is that you will not watch the show that I'm watching because you prefer Black Clover, but there's no real chance for me to get into Black Clover because there's too much.
There is a chance. There's a chance for anyone to get into One Piece. You can do it if you put your mind to it. That's weak talk, Brian.
My schedule,
Brian. They are not hour-long episodes. These are 30-minute episodes. You could watch.
But you just said 200 episodes.
Did I say you had to watch this in one day? You could do this in a couple months. I'm not saying you got to do it all at once, Brian. I'm not a crazy person. You could do it.
That is a large commitment.
And anime is life, Brian. Anime itself is a large commitment. Welcome.
But also, when I'm trying to get into like more anime as a whole, to just dedicate certain time to one.
Now, see, and I mean that's the difference between getting into anime in your adult life and getting into anime when you're a teenager. When you're a teenager, you're just in school and you don't have shit to do. That's why I'm used to doing shit like this.
Which yet again, we have a disappointing thing where I'm like, okay, let me catch up on this anime, so maybe we could talk about it on the pod, and then I come to you guys and you're like, nah. Like, well, fuck.
Well, I mean, like I said, I thought Wistoria is okay. I just prefer Black Clover because if to my personal taste with shonen, it gives me more shonen than Wistoria does, and it's.
Oh God, dude, Wistoria is 1,000% shonen.
Oh, you haven't seen.
The main character wears goggles.
You haven't seen Black Clover.
I'm not comparing the two.
Like it gets into some wild stuff, and I honestly kind of miss long form shonen. Like as a thing, I understand. I appreciate the more streamlined anime of today that just get your stuff done in your 2 cores?
Well, as somebody who is trying to catch up and trying to get to a point where we can do more.
Oh, I'm not asking to do Black Clover for a pod. I'm just saying Black Clover would be a fun watch as an anime fan. I'm not telling you to do it for the pod.
No, but what I'm saying is that part of the reason why I'm trying to catch up on certain anime is for the pod.
Well, yeah, and I mean, certain shit's just not gonna line up with taste sometimes. That just happens. It's
Or
okay.
sometimes you're gonna have a stubborn person who's not willing to give something a chance.
I mean, there's that too. But to be fair, when me, Tony, and Jordan did our We Warriors podcast, we gave Tony a chance with what Peter Grill, and that will never happen again.
Yeah.
Jordan, if you're watching this, Jordan can back us up.
Yeah.
But
Like,
you got to understand how it's kind of discerning for me, because I keep trying to climb that mountain to join you guys, and you keep pushing me down.
We're not.
We're not pushing you down. We're just saying differences in taste. It's okay, Brian. You can watch stuff without us. It's fine. Like,
I know. But
it's the whole
becoming
reason.
a trend now.
It's the whole reason we've introduced individual video reviews and stuff, which do really well.
I know, it's disheartening because it's becoming a trend now. This because I started talking about Demon Slayer and getting into that, and y'all shit on that.
What? I like Demon Slayer. I don't shit on Demon. Hold on.
No,
hold on.
But you did later admit that your talk about it came off very negative because you were focusing on the manga.
I was gonna say, I love Demon Slayer's anime. Demon Slayer's anime is the shit. I don't like the manga.
You also admitted that you were vibing with Cap and you both got into a negative space. You told me that later.
But also I'm not gonna let you say that I shit on Demon Slayer. You literally said I shit on Demon Slayer, Brian.
Yes, you shit on Demon Slayer's manga.
You put the wrong context into the thing.
What I was trying to get at is that this is yet another time where I have come feeling excited about talking about an anime with you guys because I'm finally trying to join you, and yet again it gets undercut.
You
understand that?
I get that, and that's just kind of an unfortunate trend because we're jaded ass anime fans who've been watching anime for a long time, and you're coming in much more bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. That's just kind of gonna be a fact of how the difference is how we approach things. Like, being blunt about it. Like, if I was a newer anime fan, I would be much more optimistic about this shit. But Tony and I have been around the block and back, and then some. So like, we're gonna be jaded old bastards with this.
But see, that's also the thing, though, is that all the current relevant stuff right now is part of that jadedness. And
what are you talking about? We've covered anime for the show, dude.
Yeah, so
I know, but what I'm saying is the upcoming, because I'm trying to look at like what's coming up in the year to be prepared for it, and every time I do, it gets a little undercut.
We've watched plenty of more modern anime for the show.
I know, but what I'm saying is when I try to catch up on stuff so that I can join you guys, I find out that you guys aren't even a part of that.
Okay, so let me just kind of say from my perspective here.
Okay? All right.
So just listen to what I'll explain to you here, Brian. Like Jay said, he and I have been watching anime a lot longer than you have, so some shows may seem interesting, but we are cautious because of our taste and the fact that, of course, taste can change. There's a reason why I am such an aficionado with harem animes, because most of my young adult, late teens, young adult years was focused primarily on watching shows like that. And then I began to expand my horizons. So with you, we are just nudging you into things that we know for a fact you will like and enjoy. And sometimes that road leaves us old heads with a little bit of giving you a little bit more context. And sometimes that context can lead to perceived negativity.
And I mean, it's also it's also not the case that we always dislike things, because there are we just did Sentence to Be a Hero. We all loved that show.
I know, and I'm not talking about new anime. I'm talking about returning anime, because also you said, Tony, nudge me in certain directions. All these shows I have discovered on my own, because
no, what I'm saying, because we know your face,
that you
get you out the door.
we're like 5 seasons in, and it's like, fuck, how am I supposed to catch?
No, well, I'm saying when I say nudge you to a direction, because we start you off with shows that we know that you would enjoy. That's the idea.
And I mean,
when I say
but
nudge,
you haven't.
I'm saying that when we give, okay, so I'm just saying, typically, when we want to give people recommendations, you go by a person's taste in other stuff that they enjoy. And when I'm saying, we're not saying, okay, back me up here. You know what I'm trying to say here.
I'm with you. I'm just trying to find an appropriate part to jump in, because I don't want to stop you in the middle of your train of thought.
No, my train of thought is just a bit wonky.
Okay, my bad. Okay, so here's the thing, Brian. I think this is where impasse lies. You're saying you want to catch up on more current stuff but we're not interested. I think the problem that you're kind of missing, and I think we should have just done this from the start, and this would have stopped this whole circular thing. Tony and I had a large, because we did that podcast, we had a large phase where we were constantly keeping up with seasonals. Tony and I have had like a large gap of just not really paying attention to anime for real for almost maybe close to 2 years until we started doing more anime regularly for the podcast.
Yeah.
Except for the only time we would check in on stuff is if, I read this manga, it's getting an adaptation, let me check this out. Like Oshinoko,
Okay.
Tony was like, oh shit, Akasaka Sensei is doing a new thing. We checked that out right away. Fucking the one I talked about before with the that looked like the one anime from that was shown in Dress Up Darling. I read that manga before. Fragrant Flowers. Only reason I knew about that was because I read the manga. I don't check shit out unless it's nowadays. I don't check shit out unless it's an adaptation of something that I know I like, because I'm tired of investing time into anime and it being just meh.
I feel you, but also another thing that I've figured out is another thing that is happening is that I'm trying to see these new seasonal anime that are coming out, because the only ones that y'all are recommending to me to watch are the Black Clovers and the One Piece, where it's gonna take forever for me to catch up.
To be fair, Black Clover is way more reasonable than One Piece. You could do Black Clover in a month.
You get what I'm saying.
I'm trying to lighten the mood, Brian. This was all a joke.
And this is not a serious conversation, so it's
you were just taking a slightly angrier tone. So I was trying to make a joke to lighten the.
No, I feel you. But also, I guess, can you guys actually start recommending to me reasonable anime?
I mean, here's the thing though, Brian. The sad truth is, we're old heads. A lot of the stuff we like are we come from an era where a lot of the anime we like are long running shit. Back me up here, Tony.
Because I'm a newer person, you don't trust me.
It's not that we don't trust you. It's just we recommend it to you, and you're like, it's too long, and we understand that it's too much of a commitment, and you're an adult.
That is a different element of the conversation, where I talk about something newer that you guys have no trust in, and you don't trust me.
That's not what we're
true.
saying.
That's not true, Brian. Because we listen to you with Sentence to Be a Hero. I try this stuff. And it's not even that I don't trust you. I watched an episode of Astoria. I didn't like it. That's just my personal taste. I don't know why I'm just hard to say okay, Jay didn't like it. That's fine. That doesn't invalidate the fact that you liked it.
Yeah.
Well, also,
that's the thing.
Well, also, it's not only the fact that you said that you didn't like it. It's that you couldn't criticize it without bringing up a different anime.
How are you supposed to do that without?
Talk about story, characters, animation.
But that's how I was saying. I preferred Black Clover because Black Clover had more of the shonen taste for me that I preferred from what I saw of Wisteria, and that was my comparison point. You're gonna always compare things to other things when you're making criticism.
I feel it, but when the person has no idea what you're talking about, it kind of there's no real comparison for me.
Okay, so how about we go with another analogy here? So if the setting is a very similar setting to such and such, does first example compare to the other example that we can all collectively understand? Normally that's how we would compare stuff.
Yeah, like for example, using today's topic, if I compared another school teen drama to Exo Kitty. You would be able to understand. But if somebody who didn't watch Exo Kitty, they would just use what they know of the other show to be like, okay, so that's what you mean. So yeah, you didn't watch Black Clover, but you've seen enough shonen stuff to know, like, all right, so it didn't really scratch that same itch that you have. It doesn't, meet some of the same elements. Yes, I didn't specify elements, but that would also be like going into detail about like spoiling plot. So,
yeah, and also,
I feel you.
And not all shonen anime are created equal.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. And also, part of the frustration isn't you guys, it's also just life in general, like not having time to catch up. The fact that I didn't get into it the same time you guys did, so frustrated at that situation. And also just sometimes timing. Like, did y'all know that the newest season of Spy X Family just dropped?
Oh yeah, I've been watching it.
No.
Oh, you didn't? I've been watching it.
Yeah, I've been focused on other things, which is
I'm just saying that timing is also frustration. So it's not just you guys that I'm frustrated with. It's the situation and the world with this whole.
Which is a fair thing to say.
I get it, and I didn't mean to come off as combative. I felt like you were attacking me, and then you felt like I was attacking you. It was a whole thing.
All right. Well, so to keep this circular conversation, cut it off at the end. Brian found a show that he really enjoys. Good for Brian.
Yeah, which is all I was trying to say at the end of the day was like, wasn't for me, but good for you. I don't know how
which came off kind of condescending. But
that's just
my
that's just how that's just how I fucking talk.
Yeah.
I know, but hey, to jump off the last final thing, which had nothing to do with anime.
Okay.
Just real quick is Danny Gonzalez dropped a new video.
Okay.
And his thing was foods that should not exist.
All
and
right.
he went on this half taste test, half video essay about several things, like the people that sell on eBay foods that look like things, MREs.
What are MREs?
Ration.
Okay.
I forgot what the acronym is, but it's the military,
military rations.
ration.
Okay.
Yeah, with those packets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, he did a wide variety of stuff. He also talked about, dirty sodas.
Oh, nice.
Which I don't know if you know what that is.
Oh, I know. We had a whole side tangent conversation about Mormons and soda before.
My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
apparently
exactly.
one of the ones that was really pushed for a while from the Pepsi Corporation was Pilk, which is you mix Pepsi with milk.
That sounds disgusting.
They even got Lindsay Lohan in a commercial for it.
That sounds disgusting.
But also found out, and I did because I didn't know this, why all those like Mormon and that area dirty sodas always use non-dairy creamers.
Because it fucks up your guts.
Also, sodas have something in them that can curdle milk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But non-dairy creamers, they don't curdle. So he tried all that. Then he also talked about discontinued fast food stuff, like how Taco Bell did a Baja Blast pie.
What?
I would try that.
It was a limited time thing in November, and it seemed like a cheesecakey type thing.
So the filling was just Baja, like a Baja Blast slush? Like, how is it Baja Blast?
It was like Baja Blast flavoring.
Oh, interesting. I would have tried it.
Because it started off as a conference joke, but then people on the internet found out and kept pestering them, so they did it for a limited time.
I would have totally tried it.
Which it did come out last year around November. Which the thing is Danny actually went on eBay and he ordered on eBay somebody who claimed that they had a pie that they had been keeping in the freezer since November. Now the reason why I said claimed is because when he got it and they shipped it, they didn't ship it with any dry ice or anything to keep it.
Ew.
Yeah, and so it was a couple weeks in transit at least.
Ugh.
Yeah, and also it looked like it had been eaten, and there was no like padding to help it from like shaking and
Oh,
stuff.
dang, that's rough.
Yeah, so he's like, I paid all this money to get this shipped, and here it is, because I think he paid like $90.
Oh, and fuck that.
But, oh, that's not even the worst of it, though, because his first thing that he talked about, which I saved this, is Erewhon.
What's Erewhon?
Oh, that's the, like, health food, like, really expensive place that all the celebrities have gone to and people have fun of it for. If you ever heard of Hailey Bieber's smoothie,
Oh, yeah.
that's where you buy it. It's like $15 for like a 10, 12 ounce smoothie. That according to him and a couple other people that I've heard, said it tastes good for a smoothie, but not worth that amount of money.
Okay.
But the most ridiculous thing, which he actually did end up getting to try, is at Erewhon, you can buy a $9 strawberry.
Was it better be a fucking good strawberry. Like a singular strawberry for $9?
It is a singular strawberry. And when you buy it, it comes in like a plastic casing that is very reminiscent of the rose in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, wow.
And see, here's the funny thing is when Danny went to go buy it, he all the stores, like, he flew from his home, which I think is in Texas, to California just to try it. And he got there and none of the stores would sell him the single strawberry. However, there was one store where they had a special going on where you could buy 12, but for the low price of $100.
I would say 9 times 12.
Well, no, because
Well, I guess you'd round up, yeah.
it was a bit of a discount, because 9 times 12.
Yeah, it would be over 100, yeah.
Yeah, but so he flew to California to buy $100 worth of 12 strawberries, and he tried them and said it was all right. But then he took it back home, and his wife and daughter really liked it. His wife said that if she saw the strawberries in the grocery store, she would pay like $1 or $2 more, but not $9 per strawberry.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Which also apparently part of the reason why it's so expensive is because they fly them in from Japan.
Oh, they're Japanese strawberries.
Yeah.
Japanese strawberries, I've heard, are immaculate.
Well, see, here's also the thing is, you probably know this through anime, but Japanese have this thing where it's these stores that look like fancy jewelry stores, but all they sell is just fancy fruit that you could give as a gift.
Yep, I've seen those. I watch a lot of J vlogs.
And apparently one of them has an online website, and Erewhon orders it from their online website.
Oh, gotcha.
And so that's why they're so expensive. But yeah, it's a very interesting video. He also at one point was like, I didn't get a chance to taste the pie because it, so he's like, screw it. And so he made it himself. But also in true Danny fashion, he was like, for the vibes, after he made the pie himself, he then drove to a Taco Bell parking lot just for the vibes of eating it outside.
That's funny.
Yeah, true Danny fashion, but that's it for me.
But yeah, before Tony knocks out his last thing, I want to share this fun little side tangent we got into yesterday that I think you guys as in the listeners of this podcast would also enjoy. So I brought up the Reddit rabbit hole I had gotten into because like I already knew this existed, but I actually like deep dove into this subreddit of DC allies, and so we were all just laughing and joking about like the dedication of these people to RPing about a whole fake ass game in a parallel universe. And so we concocted this insane thought experiment of like drafting this parallel universe and what would come out of it.
Yeah, we don't need to go into too much detail.
Oh, I just wanted to bring it up, Tony. If you wanted to share a couple of those, because we had some fun ideas.
It's a fun and just hilarious ride, but some things are just better left.
Yeah, it was a fun time. We had some really wacky ideas.
Well, like if Moon Knight had an equivalent to an Arkham trilogy.
Yep.
Like what the Netflix DC stuff would look like, stuff like that.
Yep. Batman. Yep. The Netflix DC stuff would just be Batman /Bat Family shows. The scariest thing of all time. What Tony nicknamed Justice League United We Stand.
Yep.
But yeah, so just a fun little thought experiment. But yeah, so Tony, what's your last screen time thing? Since we kind of shared two.
Well, I decided to just take a interesting nostalgia trip and finish where I left off with a game series that is ancient compared to gaming standards today.
Okay.
Telltale's The Walking Dead.
Oh, you never finished it?
No.
Oh man, how'd you like it?
I just got to the third season, which technically I didn't purchase the third season. I went automatically to the final one, and I was like, wait a minute, now I'm confused.
Oh shit.
So I backtracked, and I had to just work from there.
That's
but still, it's the funniest thing. And so I was playing season 2 because I was at the tail end of season 1 with the 400 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I was primarily focused on finishing that up.
It's funny, I was more invested in Telltale's Walking Dead than I eventually was in regular Walking Dead.
Yep, but the one thing that I just enjoyed seeing is the character progression for Clementine.
Clem is the shit. I also, my man Kenny. Kenny is also one of my favorite characters. I like Kenny.
Kenny, man, this sumbitch.
He's a very complicated man, Kenny.
Mm-hmm. That Kenny, very complicated character. But
also Kenny's son is an annoying little shit. Never liked him.
Yeah. And then like season 2 stuff, off the rails insanity.
Oh yeah, season 2 for me was the peak. I enjoyed everything after season 2, but season 2 I think was like the peak of enjoyment for Walking Dead for me.
Yeah, and I only played the first episode of season 3, and I'm not the biggest fan of Javi as a protagonist.
I didn't like him that much either, to be honest.
Javi to me is kind of a bargain bin character, but I don't know who he's the bargain bin character for.
He's kind of he gives me kind of a bargain bin fusion dance of Lee and Kenny.
Yeah, but with the like bad luck gimmick that he has.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so much a gimmick, it's like a motif that he has.
Mm-hmm.
And also losing family in this world is just fucking rough.
Oh, dude, yeah. They don't pull punches. They don't pull punches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do recommend if you want to get into more Telltale stuff. The Game of Thrones one is slept on. It's not. It's nowhere near.
I remember.
It's nowhere near as bad as people say. I enjoyed it.
I tell you another one that I enjoyed watching the walkthrough for. I didn't play it, but I watched someone play it. The Borderlands one.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that one. I think that's the only one I haven't played. Was the Borderlands one. But yeah. All right, cool. That's funny. Our whole anime argument turned part 1 into a podcast within a podcast.
My bad.
But regardless, our final segment before the main event is Trailer Talk. Trailer Talk is the segment of the podcast where our boy Brian here has gathered together 6 brand new trailers, at least as of the recording of this podcast, and put them together in a handy dandy playlist for you lovely people here to check down in the description down below. And that is where you will pause this lovely video and then do all the usual YouTube things of liking the video, hitting that subscribe button, hitting that notification bell, and if you're on mobile, hitting that hype button, because that helps to spread our video throughout the algorithm to other like-minded people that maybe would like to hear us yap on and on about differences in anime taste. But without further ado, we will be back shortly with our full thoughts on these trailers, thanks to the magic of editing. Until then, please enjoy this word from our non-existent sponsor. And we're back! Okay, so pretty solid batch of trailers we got here. We started off very strong, and then a couple still pretty good ones here. Definitely one for an anime that I've been looking forward to. The manga is really good, so I was looking forward to when this eventually got adapted. And then one anime that I had never heard of that, like, the premise looks pretty interesting. And then, of course, another animated show that, like, looks alright, but I don't know if I would want to check that one out. But yeah, let's go through them. So, the final Supergirl trailer is out.
Yep.
And, yeah.
This one we got more of a clear look at Lobo.
We got a more of a clear look at Robo, and like a more this is the plot trailer where they basically, tell you like what the story of the movie is. And I think they did a good job without like giving away the entire movie. They just kind of like show you clearly what the premise is.
Yeah.
Kara's off getting fucked up for her birthday. Crypto gets hurt. She has to go fuck up some space pirates to get the antidote for the poison to save Crypto. And she teams up with Lobo along the way. Well, so yeah, pretty cool. I'm excited to see what Millie can do as Kara. You're never gonna get me to change my pronunciation. It will be Kara until the day I die.
But we're still continued excited for that. One that kind of surprised us a bit is Beef Season 2.
Oh, we skipped over Backrooms.
Oh yeah, that's right. My bad.
But yeah, Backrooms, the Backrooms trailer. I think this is fucking dope. You know, the game itself was really cool. It had that huge popularity explosion couple years ago, and I think the found footage angle is a really good way to kind of take this, because the whole like fear factor about the Backrooms is the unknown and kind of the ambiance to it, so I think found footage works really well.
And probably gonna mispronounce this, but Chiwetel Ejiofor as a lead, great. Did you guys ever see the Backrooms web series?
No, but I'd heard of it.
It's the same director.
Oh, cool. But yeah, now on to Beef Season 2. Beef Season 2 is kind of weird. Like, Beef Season 1, I saw, I don't know if you guys ended up watching it, but I did talk about it previously when Beef Season 1 came out. And it was like a funny kind of like versus comedy about like two people who like got into a road rage incident and then just like fucking went psycho mode and like started stalking the other person to their house. And so it was funny, but definitely a little intense, but not like to this level of intense. This went to full on like thriller mode, and it's like couple versus couple, and one is clearly in some kind of DV situation, so definitely super intense.
Yep, and but stellar cast: Oscar Isaac, Charles Melton
from Riverdale. Oh yeah, that was him, wasn't he? Hi, Reggie.
Yep, and Carey Mulligan. She's the one that is married to Oscar Isaac.
Yeah. I'm familiar with Carey Mulligan because she was big in Fargo. The season of Fargo that I watched. I think that was the first. I've seen like the first 2 seasons of Fargo.
Well, here's something that people don't realize about her. It's like where she got her start.
Oh,
Doctor Who.
Oh, cool.
She was the lead in Blink.
Oh shit.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's Beef Season 2.
Also, just as a note, part of the reoccurring cast for Season 2 is Michaela Hoover, which, if that name doesn't sound familiar to you, she was Cat Grant in Superman.
Oh, cool.
And she's live action Tony Chopper.
Oh shit! I did not know that actress was also Cat Grant, because I saw a picture of her in the Chopper hat, and they're like, dang, even Chopper's voice actress is a baddie.
Well, I get you. She wasn't wearing the blonde wig.
Huh, that's crazy. But yeah, so that's it for Beef Season 2. Sparks of Tomorrow looks very interesting. It has this kind of like steampunky vibe, and like it kind of dives into the early age of electricity in Japan, which is cool.
Oh yeah. It's the manga is called wait, what? No, that can't be right, can it? Oh yeah, it seems like it is. It's called 20 Seikei Dinkei Mokuroku.
Okay.
Which translates to 20th Century Electric Catalog.
That makes sense. Spark of Tomorrow seems much catchier.
It is set in the Meiji era.
Yeah, that makes sense, because that's when the big amount of that's when the big amount of Americanization happened in Japan. Yeah, check that out.
2 individuals meet in Kyoto and uncover the secret of the 20th Century Electric Catalog, along with the potential to realize the dreams they once had.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And Daemons of the Shadow Realm is the one that I've been looking forward to for a while. This is the latest work of the manga behind Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for you normies. But yeah, it's really cool. I really like the power system. I don't want to go too deep into it in terms of what the power system is, but a lot of it is, of course, the controlling and manipulation of said daemons and contracts and all this interesting stuff. It's really cool. I think the world is really interesting. This has the potential to be like a very, very high up there in the shonen rankings. And I got to give a shout out to the friend of the show, David, because David was the one that put me onto this, because he was reading this during one of his manga nights, and I was like, oh shit, that looks like fucking Alphonse. And he's like, yeah, it's the same lady. I was like, oh shit, that's cool. So I ended up checking it out later, and I really like it. I'm excited to see this when it comes out. And last but certainly least, Kevin, it looks funny, to be honest. I like the humor. I just don't find the premise all that interesting.
Well, apparently it's based loosely on real life story of a child of divorce. And Aubrey Plaza is co-creating it. The cast is absolutely stacked.
Yeah, if I hear good things about it, I'll check it out. But it's not really on my radar personally.
And it's a wide variety cast. Weird too, because you got again Charles Melton, Patti LuPone,
Nice.
Addison Rae.
Like TikTok Addison Rae?
Yep.
I guess she's like a full-on musician now. She showed up on that the Grammy Rising Stars thing. So.
Debbie Ryan,
Oh shit! Where has she been?
Whoopi Goldberg,
Nice.
Jason Schwartzman,
Nice.
Quinta Brunson,
Love Quinta Brunson.
Carrie Elways,
Carrie Elways is always fun.
Amy Sedaris.
Nice. I feel like her like bit role in Mandalorian has really kind of risen her station.
Yeah. Aubrey Plaza, obviously. And Tig Navarro.
Nice.
Love Tig Navarro.
Yeah, that is a pretty stacked cast. Again, this is one of those ones where like the trailer didn't sell me, because like if you remember, we reacted to was it Too Short? Life's Too Short? Life is Short. That's what it was. Life is Short. We reacted to Life is Short, and we were kind of underwhelmed by that trailer. But then when Tony and I eventually checked it out, we both fucking loved it. So this could be another case of one of those.
Oh yeah, I could see that. And the other guy that Aubrey's doing the show with is apparently one of the Big Mouth guys.
Oh, cool. But yeah, okay, so that's it for trailer
Yeah,
talk.
we'll have to wait and see with that one.
Alright, so now, without further ado, it is time to get into the main event of the podcast, our full discussion of Exo Kitty Season 3. So I will give a disclaimer at the beginning of this discussion and tell you right off bat that we will actually not be giving final thoughts and ratings at the end of this discussion, because, at least for us, it definitely felt more like a mid-season, like a half season than an actual full season, because, you know, this whole thing is about senior year, but this only takes place in the first half of senior year, like the first semester. So we decided that even though it technically hasn't been confirmed, we know it's going to eventually be confirmed for season 4. We're going to wait until season 4 to give this senior year section of Exo Kitty a final thoughts and ratings.
I mean, as of recording, it is still number 1 on Netflix.
Yep. So pretty safe bet. So we'll just wait. We'll just wait till season 4 to kind of give it a full final thoughts and ratings. But we will still give you our thoughts and opinions on what's happened in this first semester. So let's start spoiler free wise. I'll go ahead and kick us off. I really like this season. In fact, I would say that this is probably my favorite season of the show so far. Mostly because this season leaned way more away from cliches than the past seasons have. And there's nothing wrong with cliches if you know how to use them correctly. But like the first few seasons, they kind of just overused the classic cliches for like romance stuff to the point where it was kind of annoying. But in this one, they actually showed a lot of maturity with the characters, to the fact where we actually like solved our problems and used our words like growing up, even though they're not grown ups yet.
There were cliches, but they swerved us with like how they handled it in a more mature way.
And a lot of times, like, you know, some of the biggest tropes that annoy us, especially in like YA stuff, like misunderstandings and miscommunications, which is a big thing in romance tropes, they solve that shit pretty quick. Like some of them in like just the same episode, which I was like, oh, okay, that's surprising. Other shows would have dragged this shit. Okay, good for them. And I think the characters all got a good amount of screen time. Like even some of our side characters, like Madison and her friend, whose name I can never remember, who's like the dope ass hairstylist.
Yeah.
Like they even got some shine in here, so that's cool. At first, I was afraid that characters like Alex would not get any shine, but I was completely wrong, and I'm so glad I was wrong. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, we even got shining characters that I did not expect.
Me and Brian even had this like long ass moment of trying to figure out something about an obscure character, to the point where we couldn't find anything on Google, any of the wikis. So I legit had to pull up the episode where this character showed up and wait for the subtitles to tell me their name.
Yeah, but yeah, the character in particular that I was referring to was Jin.
Yep.
I got some really good moments, not only with him and Q, but also him and Kitty.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Like the relationships are obviously a big part of the show, because it's a romance show at the end of the day. But like,
and our lead character is a self-proclaimed matchmaker.
But we get to see their friendships outside of relationships. We actually get to see a lot of platonic friendships really blossom here. Like Yuri and Day, which is a friendship friendship that's hella underrated in this show that like I absolutely love and I want to definitely see more of, and you know, different things like
They
that.
even, like, through the premise of this season, introduced another one that was a male-female friendship that was done really well.
I also appreciate that they can have male-female friendships and not have to have the male be gay. No offense to Q, but like straight men can have friendships, like completely platonic friendships with straight women, and like it's fine. No one's gonna explode. Like I appreciate that. Like you can there's no rule about like you can only be friends with the opposite gender if you're not attracted to them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You can have attractive friends.
So there were 2 male-female relationships introduced in this season that were really good.
Yep. Tony, do you have anything to add? But yeah. So Tony, do you have anything to add? Non-spoiler about your initial thoughts on season 3 of Exo Kitty?
Well, I really do enjoy the season. I can't wait to see the end result for the shenaniganery because of this season. That's pretty much it for me.
All right, cool. Oh, last thing I want to say, spoiler free wise, is that they managed in this 3rd season, they managed to introduce the most hateable character of all time. And yet, does the character improve by the end? Sure. Does that mean I like him? No, not in the slightest.
Also, one other thing I think we can say in the non-spoiler section is you go back and you listen to our episode where we talk about Exo Kitty. We always praise the music. For some reason,
this soundtrack is
season 3?
absolute fire. Like, I told the guys, because I finished it first, because this is the first season that we actually watched separately. We technically watched season 1 separately, but we watched season 2 together. But yeah, I told the guys after I finished it, I was like, I legit had to like pause to just ask, hey, what's this song? No, I was not asking AI assistant. I'm recording a podcast right now. Leave me alone. But
yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, no, and the soundtrack is absolute fire. I agree, Ryan.
Especially in the finale.
Oh yeah, and a lot of those songs that were like in the show that were like diegetically a part of the show, because K-pop and idol stuff was a part of the actual plot, were actually done by the performers, like the actors.
Yep.
So that's really dope.
Yep, and you can actually go and listen to them on your preferred
DSP
platform.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. Now it is time to get into the spoilers, all the mess and shenaniganery, as Tony put it, of Exo Kitty season 3. If you have not seen this season, do yourself a favor, watch it, boot up your Netflix, go check it out. If you're a fan of the previous seasons, you will continue to have a good time. If you're in the market for a cute little cheesy rom-com type show and you've got time to kill, it's 3 seasons, really good stuff. Technically it's connected to the To All the Boys I'd Loved Before movie trilogy on Netflix as well. If you're interested in that, you don't have to watch it in order to fully enjoy it, but you'll get a lot more out of it if you are introduced to LJ in those.
Yeah. Also, I will say that this is not as prevalent nowadays, but Exo Kitty does put the com in rom-com.
Oh yeah, it is very funny. I do agree. But yeah, so now it's time to go to spoilers. All right, so let's just talk about it all. They had some really good swerves in this season, as we alluded to before.
Oh, yeah.
And like the biggest one is the pregnancy saga of this entire season.
Multiple swerves.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I called it a saga, because it went through so many different stages. It was like, oh no, Eunice is pregnant. Wait, Minho cheated on Kitty with Eunice? Oh fuck! Oh wait, no! Minho didn't cheat on Kitty with Eunice. Eunice hooked up with Teo, the handsy other male K-pop idol, while they were on tour. That sucks for Day. Dang. And then, oh wait,
no!
Day hooked up with Eunice on tour, not Teo? Okay, that's a little awkward,
Damn.
but at least Day will get to be a father. Yeah. It's just like, oh, it was just a stress thing. Okay, Eunice wasn't pregnant after all. Oh, okay, cool.
But we saw a positive test.
Who the fuck was that? And then, oh wow, the reveal there. I don't know why suddenly I come down with a coughing fit. It must be all these plot twists. But then the sudden reveal of, oh shit, G1, it's you? So you and Alex were friends this whole time? You were putting on a fake tsundere act just so you could keep your job? That's crazy.
And I tell you, one of the things that keyed me into it being her, like right before they revealed it, was earlier in the episode, Kitty was doing a woe is me, and she's like, I got wrong with with them being a match, and I'm like, oh shit, they called it out. So
See, I clocked it a little bit after that. As soon as she said the raw food thing,
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, not eating raw food. Oh wait, it's you, isn't it?
well, I was like, after the
She was
kitty
also
conversation, I was like, maybe.
she was also the only straight woman at Chisuk that like could have possibly been pregnant. So like that narrowed it down a lot.
Yeah.
The benefit to them having a bunch of gay friends, I guess.
And then also they flat out said, oh, my boss didn't eat raw fish when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, my boss had to do this a lot when she was pregnant.
Yep, man. But yeah, it's such a good twist. I also really, I was really interested to see kind of what they would bring out for G1 now that she was gonna be a regular cast member, and I like the plot line of like, because we're introduced with her alongside Imo Haiwani. I apologize, I don't speak Korean, but you know, Kitty's grandmother's sister, and like, so we don't actually know what her life with her is like, but then we find out that like she's basically like a helicopter grandparent, and like was trying to control like her entire life, and so she felt suffocated, and you know, after meeting Kitty, she got inspired to put herself out there, and so that's when she decided to move to Seoul and get the new job and all that stuff, and then she met Alex, and then you know, one thing led to another, you know.
And I do like that Alex said if somebody has to quit, it'll be him.
Yeah, I like that. 'Cause, I mean, and it makes sense. Him wanting to be a stay-at-home dad is like it so checks out for his character, especially because, you know, he himself and you know, Lee acknowledged it, like that Lee, even though he says, you know, I would have been there if I had known about you, but like I'm glad you get to be there for, you know, your sons or daughters first and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was also a really sweet moment when he was just like, well, I was hoping we could both be there for that, you know, and then grandfather, and I'm like, aww.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, she became a teacher because she was passionate about teaching.
Mm-hmm.
He became a teacher just because he wanted to get closer to his dad.
Yeah, get closer to his dad. Yeah, exactly. So it makes sense for her to be the one who you know, sticks around as a teacher. Because I'm sure he can still find. Because I think really his like passion is connecting with youth. You know, because that seems to be what he's really good at. Right? Is the more like, he seems like he would be a much better fit. Not that he wasn't a good teacher, but he seems like he'd be like more of a better fit as like a guidance counselor or like a youth pastor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get you.
Not one of those like weird youth pastors, the actual cool youth pastor. But yeah, like I really enjoyed that. And like, you know, speaking from personal experience, like see like even the most grouchy, you know, curmudgeon, hard ass dude, the second they get a grandchild, they become the most smiley, giggly motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. Like, you know, like my own dad is someone who is very much a man of few words. Like my friends who have been friends with me since elementary school have been like, I've never heard your dad speak an entire sentence. And like, but with my brother's new baby, he's all smiles and laughing and singing songs, and I'm just like, oh my god, who is this person? So like, I'm very much looking forward to seeing that kind of same transformation in Professor Lee as well.
Yeah, especially because
and he's a music guy too, so like I'm sure that's gonna come back into play, because you know, that came up in the first season. Maybe he'll sing to her that "Everybody Wants to Rule the World" song.
Yeah. And also because apparently there's something temporal going on with the baby.
Oh yeah, because well, they didn't have the baby yet.
No, but at this rate, I mean, we found out that she was pregnant, and then in the next episode, it shows her like second trimester. So
I mean,
was she just hiding it for that long?
I mean, they did time skip, because that was like, they found out in Chisuk, and by the time we see that, it's towards the end of winter break, so it has been a couple months. That was an actual time skip. There was an actual time skip there.
Yeah,
they just didn't label it, so it's not as noticeable because it was a back-to-back scene thing. But like, if you pay attention, I play a lot of games set in high schools in Asia. you tend to note it. You know the passage of time with school event, and that's a couple months. So there's no time magic there. It's not a magic time, baby.
I was just being a little shit when I said temporal.
Oh yeah.
But Anyway, yeah.
So that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's get into the rant portion. Let's talk about him. Fuck Marius, dog. Fuck
The
Marius.
mysterious fourth to the friend group.
He's actually not mysterious. So I went back and I watched season 1. So I don't know if this is like the same case as Day, right? But when Day answered the phone, they did have a second black friend in that group.
Oh, okay.
So he existed. I don't know if it's the same case as Day where they just got the exact same actor, but Marius did exist at that time. He did not come out of nowhere.
This was the person that Katie took their...
Yeah, Kitty took their spot in the friend group, essentially.
And also took their spot in the dorm in the first season.
Yep, exactly.
Which, don't get us wrong, even though they did swerve some cliches, they still, like, kept up with the whole K-drama-esqueness.
And, you know, all most of that mess, like, the epicenter of all that mess is fucking Marius, because Marius is just a shit stirrer. He just caused problems just because he wasn't the center of attention, and, you know, the world of the friend group didn't revolve around him.
And he didn't get what he wanted.
Yep. And, like...
Which apparently was cute.
Yeah, and also, can we talk about the fact that, like, Marius feels like he's entitled to a redemption arc when he hasn't apologized yet?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, I don't like him. I see, and I get the angle that they're going with for Marius that makes, like, that like, makes you want to lean more sympathetic towards him, but I don't care. That's not an excuse. Like,
Well, that makes me more understand him going hard after Q. What it doesn't explain...
why you're a dick to Kitty.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, she's being protective of Q and keeping Q away from you because she can see that you're not a good person.
Yeah.
But, like, that's because you're not a good person.
To be fair, you aren't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's because you're not a good person. So, like, that's not on Kitty. That's on you, my G.
Yeah, did some questionable shit, man.
A lot of questions. And, like, usually with this kind of thing, I solve it with my joke of just be a throuple already. But, like, no. Jin and Q don't need your mess. Stay out of this area. And I really like Jin standing up for himself, and especially standing up for Q against his mom, too. I thought that was awesome. I really appreciated that. So, other stuff on my note. Yeah, let's...
I was just gonna say, we mentioned about it briefly, but the two new male-female friendships that were introduced in this season, both with the same male.
Yep. Yeah, Minho and Gigi, which I love that we didn't have to deal with any extra drama. Gigi was just his big sister figure that he might have had a crush on when he was younger, but, like, it never amounted to anything.
Yeah, and then surprising.
It's like it's kind of like when you have a crush on your babysitter. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but, like, you know, I was babysat by a family friend when I was younger, and I definitely had a crush on them when I was like 10 or 12. Like, you know, that's a pretty standard thing.
But also, like, Minho and Eunice.
Well,
that was a good.
Yeah, and again, it didn't lead into anything romantic. He was just a really good friend and a good manager. It was all just work stuff. He's just really good at his job.
Well, it was work stuff that became like actual friend.
And it led into a really good moment of like, dude, Dad, she doesn't want to do this. I'm not gonna force her to do it. She's my friend. I'm gonna let her go. And he goes, fine, you're fired. And he's like, all right, fuck it. And then it leads Minho to go down his own path like a real man.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Same.
Because I think that, like, that's kind of the big thing with, like, especially just, you know, as someone who's kind of gone through this journey within, like, the last 3 or 4 years, it's kind of, like, it's necessary to hit that kind of rock bottom of, you know, your parents are done making decisions for you or, you know, forcing you into paths that they think are right for you. Figure something out for yourself. You might not be the most comfortable. It might be out of your comfort zone and you might have to figure it out a little bit and you might struggle for a while, but, like, are you happier? Yeah, the answer is yes, then you're good, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing Minho had to go through.
Also, we mentioned this in the non-spoilers, but now we can actually talk about, like, why it was so, like, prevalent and an issue in this season is the Yuri Day friendship, which really got tested this season.
Oh, yeah. I really like it. By the way, I love Broke Yuri. Broke Bitch Yuri is my favorite Yuri.
Yeah.
She's so funny. And I love her reaction to her paycheck. Wait, where's the rest of it? Oh, man.
Yeah. You know what that kind of reminds me of? If you ever watch Friends early on, Rachel looking at her first paycheck being like, who's the FICO, and why the hell does she have all my money?
Yep. Oh man. But yeah, so and again, Yuri's journey into like discovering herself through fashion, which was always a big thing for her. So it made perfect sense for that to be where she landed.
Now, to be fair and full honest, not everything they did with this season with Yuri we completely agreed with.
Yeah. So the thing I didn't agree with, and I've talked about this before with ExoKitty, the thing that I really liked about ExoKitty is that it avoided the trope that I personally hate the most from like young adult and teen romance shows, what I like to call the boy meets world effect, the effect that ruined our entire generation. Where like these shows set it up that your first love is not only the best love, it is the only love you'll ever need. And like they show that with ExoKitty because they show that that's not the case with ExoKitty because Kitty was in love with Day. That was her first love. That's what inspired her to go to Korea in the first place. And but then eventually
this season does take the time, like with Minho, with Kitty, with Q, to talk about how like the difference between first loves and
the love you need right now. Yeah, exactly. Because Marius was that for Q. Right, exactly. And we saw how horrible Marius is. But then we go back to Yuri, and it's just like, yeah, so, they even introduced, like, Pravina is, like, setting up Yuri on blind dates, and, like, it's like, yay, Yuri's putting herself out there. This is such a good development. Her whole thing was that she couldn't be who she was because her parents wouldn't let that really happen. But now she gets to be out and free. That's cool. She gets to date around.
Wait a minute.
But then Juliana starts acting weird, and it's just like, why is Juliana acting weird? And then it's just like, we find out Juliana still has feelings for Yuri, and I'm just like, oh. And then, in conversations that Kitty has with Yuri, Yuri's just like, Kitty's like, so, when are you gonna get over Juliana? It's like, I'll let you know when it happens. And I'm just like, no. Like, it's fine to like go back to your first love eventually, right? But like, Yuri didn't even really get a chance to date around. At least Kitty dated a lot, which is what you're supposed to do when you're young. You don't lock yourself in yet.
During like summer break and all that, Kitty got her toes wet.
No, not really. She faked all that. Those are all fake Instagram posts to make Minho jealous.
Oh yeah, that's right. But at least she had Pravina.
Yeah, she dated around in school. She dated Pravina. She had this brief, like, she didn't date Yuri, but she had that like intense crush on Yuri. She, did that whole thing. So like, she at least got to experience like, love and youth. Yuri didn't really. She did a little bit and then just went back to her first love, which again, nothing wrong with that. There are cases where, your high school sweetheart does work out. I mean, my parents were high school sweetheart, but like, that feels kind of outdated in modern world.
Yeah, and kind of like antithetical to your whole message this season.
Yeah, like I definitely believe in the concept of there is somebody for everybody, and maybe you find your person early, but like I don't think people are that lucky that often, you know? So like it feels weird that we do this with Yuri. And I'm not just saying this because I shipped Kitty with Yuri. I'm over that now. Like I've accepted that that's not gonna happen.
Well, I'm mostly over that, and that's because of the show's fault.
Yeah, that balcony scene at the fashion show definitely had some vibes. I'm not gonna lie to you. The vibes were there, but yeah, I'm mostly over it.
They did a really good job this season at selling Kitty and Minho.
Yeah, they did. I'm actually rooting for them. And also, like, for once, when the guy breaks up with the girl, the guy is actually valid. Because, like, when he broke up with her, I was like, no, I would have broken up with her too. She didn't trust him at all. It makes perfect sense. Yeah. No, he's right. That's your fault. And I appreciate that, because a lot of times, especially when it's a breakup and the protagonist is on the bad side, most shows frame the protagonist to be the one who got done dirty and is in the the person breaking up with the protagonist is in the wrong. But no, they showed again Kitty as a flawed person, and it's like, no, Kitty was in the wrong here.
Yeah.
And I also like that her friends also learned from their experiences with Kitty and like used her own powers against her.
Yeah, and also the fact that in the end both of them ended up being in, because he still has unresolved daddy and mommy issues. So he was more reluctant to take her back.
Yeah. It's the case. it's kind of, it's just the, and shout out to Day. Day mentioned this. It's kind of just what happens when two stubborn people fall in love with each other. It's the it's the Kaguya-sama problem. They just gotta wait for they're waiting for the other person to make the first move, and the person who makes the first move is the person who surrenders. So that's why neither wants to make the first move. The Kaguya-sama problem.
Accidental, trying to be matchmaker Day this season, where he's like, "Am I actually good at this?"
Oh, Day was hilarious. He goes, "Wait, you want to talk feelings with me?" And then he helps Q out. And goes, "Oh my god, am I actually good at this? What?" Oh, it's so good. I love Day. I'm glad we get more of Day. Yep.
Him and Yuri play the matchmaker at the end, but he's so awkward about it. He's just like, "Okay, bye."
It's because it's because we love you. Good luck. Bye.
Yeah.
So good.
Which again, really good. They got so
They
lucky.
they lucked out on this kid. He was just a random cameo at the end of the at the end of the third movie, and they kept him, and he's this good.
But something that I didn't realize to show the time is, if you remember, one of the tropes in To All the Boys is that with that family time, they were starting a new year of school. They would put the number on these little chalkboards and take photos.
Yeah.
And the movie started with Kitty, I think, in 6th grade.
Yep.
And now she's a senior, which that is another case of lucking out.
Right? And also
although you go back and you watch those movies, little Kitty was honestly the best part.
Yeah. I mean, no, I liked LJ. I liked LJ.
She was a star in her own right, I'll say.
Oh yeah, no, she was a standout especially for it's such a minor side character. She definitely stood out a lot. But yeah, I think it's so interesting. It's especially from the perspective of somebody who's seen the To All the Boys trilogy with Exo Kitty. You really kind of you feel like you've watched this girl really grow up, and it's you feel like a proud parent. I'm happy for you, Catherine.
When she talked to her.
Yeah, when you talked to her, the E1 Harmony in Korean, and I was like, oh, she did it. It was good. Her Korean was so good.
Yep.
And I love that they allude to it subtly when LJ, who is also American born, she comments Kitty, your Korean is really good, and she doesn't notice it because she uses it so casually because it's kind of her everyday thing now.
Also, they don't come out and say it, but I bet part of it was down to just being thrown into the shark infested water with Korean lit.
Yeah, definitely that. She had to learn a lot more Korean for her classes, and having to read and analyze literature, you really need to understand the language. So that definitely probably helped her out a lot. And she ended up acing the midterm, so clearly she did better in that class eventually. So yeah, totally helped. So instead, because we're not giving you final thoughts and ratings, I thought we'd throw in a treat for you guys and bring back something we haven't done in a long time. All aboard this train to Speculation Station. All right, so here are the questions I have in the notes, and I want to hear you guys' kind of thoughts and answers. Kitty's big decision. Where do you think she will go? Now she did apply for she is technically supposed to go to NYU because she got accepted already. So that's technically where she's supposed to go. But do you think she will follow through?
No, I don't think so.
What about you, Brian? I'll give my answer after you.
So I kind of think actually what I think would be a twist is that she does accept it, but Minho is the one that
I agree with you, and here's why. I was thinking with my TV brain, right? And we had mentioned this before when we were just shooting the shit about Exo Kitty, and I was like, I don't know how they would do an interesting college years thing. These type of shows really usually suck with the college years, but then I thought about it. The whole premise of Exo Kitty, right, is not only Kitty trying to find reconnect with her mother's past and stuff, but also connect with the culture that she never really had too much exposure to by living in Korea. Minho's mother is American, and
true.
Minho has mostly lived in Korea because of his father. But if Kitty goes to school at NYU, Minho will have to adjust to the culture of America and deal with that. And
I
that
mean,
could be an
if
interesting idea for a spin-off if they want to keep milking this train.
And if they wanna keep like Minho like following his dream, which is music production.
There's a lot of music connections in New York. Yeah, the music industry is very popping over there.
Yeah.
Also, I just thought of just a funny pun that's also an innuendo. But like, also if it's set in New York and they're like in their late teens and early 20s, it's like Sex and the Kitty, you know?
Yeah.
I think it could be fun. Like that would be a good spin-off if they end with next season and then like Minho like has to adjust to American culture from an Asian perspective. I think that would be really interesting. Like, you know, instead of Chuseok, he'd have to go through awkward ass American Thanksgiving, and the dark implications tied to that, and you know, a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I think it could be cool. Like that's where I think it's gonna go. And honestly, and like I seriously though, I just wish that Yuri could have like experienced more relationships. Like they're probably just gonna have her stick with Juliana, and don't get me wrong, her and Juliana are super cute together.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. Have them get back together after college, you know? Like it's like how I feel about like Stranger Things, right? Like people talked about at the end of Stranger Things that like they kind of wanted Steve and, you know, Nancy to be a thing again since Jonathan and Nancy broke up, right? I'd be okay with that if they got together after college, right?
Yeah, but the thing is they weren't really supposed to like break up.
Oh, what Jonathan and Nancy?
Yeah, because it's clearly come out that they only did that because one of the Duffers was going through a divorce at the time.
Oh.
Because one thing that I didn't know, and this is just a quick side tangent real quick, is the Nancy and Jonathan ship was apparently so strong that in 2 separate countries their dub actors got married.
Oh wow.
And also the stunt actors for Jonathan and Nancy got together.
That's insane. Damn.
Yeah.
Jancy was kind of on fire. I did not know.
And also, remind you, they are together in real life.
Yeah, I do know. I'm aware of that. That's so wild.
That is 4 couples created because of this one ship.
So they definitely shouldn't have broken up in that weird, awkward scene in the melting table.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I feel more validated. All right. Well, with that side tangent done, Brian.
Was there any other speculation?
That's kind of the biggest thing. I wanted to give some talk about Kitty's big decision. The other stuff was more just kind of like minor, like where do you think characters are going to end up like after college? But we can save that for the final season. But like,
I just want to also point out though that you know, New York also has a big fashion scene.
Oh yeah, Yuri could totally make it over there. I would love more of Kitty and Yuri because their friendship is bomb. Like they don't need to be together. Their friendship is amazing. I'd love that. Shoot, you know who I want to see more of? Loki, just because her background gags are hilarious. Madison.
Yes.
That bitch is funny as shit. Her little fucking that little gag with the Oculus.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know what was going on. She was going hard with that whatever martial arts game she was playing.
Yeah. Well, you know, up until like this season where they really sold me on the Minho Kitty ship, I kind of wanted her and Minho to get back together.
They did have a nice little thing. But yeah, no, they did really sell me on Minho Kitty for sure. But yeah, so with that being said, since we will not be giving final thoughts and ratings until the final season, it is time for our good friend Brian here to tell you lovely folk what our next dose of K-drama is going to be.
Well, we are staying sequel to a show that we've already talked about before, but it is completely different. We are finally going back to the world of Bloodhound.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see these fuckers box again. I also want to know what kind of like shenaniganery they're gonna be dealing with now, because like with Gil gone, like who's gonna be the big bad? I'm very curious. And we're actually gonna be on a bit of a sequel streak. Now, like, you know, just a little teaser, because next week's episode will technically be a sequel, even though we had to skip the previous season because of scheduling last time. So just a little teaser for what we're covering after Bloodhound as well. But yeah, until next time, we will catch you guys later. Peace.